Anthony hits hard. Lessard also out of Edmonton. It's a 10-rounder. These two gentlemen, they don't like each other, and they've made it very public.
Here comes Kris Andrews, fan favorite.
I want to go beyond the Canadian title. I want to start fighting guys in the top 25 and showing Canada that we have some good fighters that could come out here and make it on the international level. And I want to be one of those guys representing Canada.
Oh yeah, Anthony hits hard. Lessard, you've probably seen him before.
What this is for me is setting my name in the Canadian history books. Something that when I'm done this boxing career, nobody will ever be able to take that away from me. I will be known as, I was Canadian champion as an amateur, I'm going to be Canadian champion as a professional, and those were my goals set in out. And I'm one fight away from reaching my goal that I set 5 years ago. At our first nationals, we were 13 as amateurs, all the way to right now. We've always been side by side, always around the same weight class. We've never fought before because we've never been in the same weight class. We've seen what Kris has. He cracks under pressure, he pity pats. We're ready for everything he's gonna bring.
We don't like each other, and this fight's gonna determine who's the better fighter and who's ready to move on to the next level. I know he's training hard, and like I said, I don't like the demeanor of any of my opponents because I respect everybody who has the guts to hop in that ring. But I will not be beat.
Round number one, we are scheduled for 6, and a big right hand, and there goes Tony.
To have a guy 6'2", almost 6'3", who's a southpaw, is totally freakish. But he wears his size well. He uses it to great advantage. He moves well for a big man, and in his last half dozen fights, he's finally learned to put his head behind what his fists are doing, and it's really paid off big for him.
Yep, big right.
That stunned him.
Another big right.
He's hurt.
He's hurt. Arnott goes down.
I mean, Anthony's a kind of a blood and guts guy. He's all heart. He's all guts. He's a brawler. He's not the most stylish guy in the world. He's the first one to admit that. But what he can do better than almost anybody is punch.
Big shots by both boxers, and there's a heavy right hand that crushes Billy Arnott at the bell.
For my opponent, he's known to fail every time. He's been a silver medalist, and he's fought for Canadian title twice already. You know what? And he cracked under the pressure both. So that's always in my mind, and trust me, it's going to show.
You can look the part, you can act the part, but who has he really ever fought? And when it comes down to, did he ever really earn the right to be here fighting for this Canada title?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the ring, from Edmonton, Anthony Hits Hard Lessard.
Anthony Lessard is a guy who has a lot of experience in the junior middleweight division. He's 7-4-2 as a pro. But like we said at the top of the show, Ken LaCusta, animosity means a lot. When you feel something in your heart, when you want to beat somebody, he feels he can bring it to the next level, and this is for a Canadian title, and what a great opportunity for him.
Well, it really is. And Anthony, I've seen him in the gym. He's worked double hard, so we'll see what happens tonight.
And now, making his way to the ring, from Edmonton, Kris the Hitman Andrews.
Now, Kris Andrews, you have seen before on Rogers Sportsnet from coast to coast. He has won the WBC Canadian Feathercreek Championship. It's obviously not a huge title belt, but it's a belt that he can call his own as he took on one of the toughest boxers out of the Barbados, out of the Caribbean. Kris Andrews feels that he is on a mountain. He is climbing to the top of that mountain, and he is really achieving goals that he's never achieved before, Ken.
Exactly. This is a real grudge match. Both these guys don't like each other. I'm really excited about this match.
Let's go to Dean Panis, our ring announcer. He's got all the particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, KO Boxing, in association with Independent Jewelers, is proud to present the main event of the evening. This bout is scheduled for 10 rounds and is for the Canadian National Super Welterweight title. National Championship Committee Chairman is Tim Dunlop. The supervisor at ringside is Mr. Ed Pearson. The judges for this bout are Craig Metcalfe, Ron Hayter, and David Bilocerkowec. The man in charge when the bell rings is your referee, Mr. Len Koivisto. For the first time in Canadian history, two Edmontonians will fight for the national championship. And now, for our fans at the Shaw Conference Center overlooking the beautiful River Valley in downtown Edmonton, and our fans watching coast to coast on Rogers Sportsnet, there's only one thing left to answer. Are you ready? Introducing first to my left in the blue corner. He weighed in at 153 1/2 pounds, wearing the black trunks with white trim. He comes in with a professional record of 7 victories, 4 losses, and 2 draws. From Edmonton, Alberta, Anthony Hits Hard Lessard. And introducing his opponent to my right in the red corner. He comes in weighing 153 1/2 pounds, wearing the white trunks with gold and black trim, with a professional record of 14 victories, 8 losses, and 2 draws. Also from Edmonton, Alberta, Kris the Hitman Andrews.
One thing I saw between those two guys, Ken, as we take a look at the tail of the tape, Kris Andrews, 28 years old, Anthony Lessard, 29. Height advantage, obviously, and reach advantage in Kris Andrews' favor tonight. He must use that to take the win.
Exactly. Kris is going to have to box him because if he tries to exchange with Lessard is a big, big puncher.
Kris Andrews earlier in his career really wasn't taking professional boxing all that seriously. He was working out, he was training, but he wasn't really dedicated to the sport. And hence the fact that he has 8 losses on his record. But the thing is, as he's gotten older, Ken, Kris Andrews has made a commitment to the game of boxing, and we've seen that with some very impressive results.
Exactly. Kris has really, really worked hard. He's got a good manager. It's made him work really hard, changed all his habits around, and Kris has worked really, really hard. Anthony, on the other hand, is the kind of guy that likes to exchange with you. He's cocky, he likes to exchange, and he's a big puncher.
Great left jab right there as Anthony Lessard wanted Kris Andrews to hit him. Well, he did. He just nailed him with a shot right on the chin. And at the end of the day, I'll tell you what, Anthony Lessard knows that Kris Andrews is a pretty half-decent fighter, but does he know the Kris Andrews that has fought the last 3 fights of his professional career?
Exactly. Anthony can't get too excited. He can't, like he just did there, he can't try and throw too hard of punches. He's got to do what they say in boxing. Set them up. Take your time. Set the punches up. Because if he doesn't, Andrews is going to take him out with one of them short 1-2s, right like that.
Good right hand by Andrews, and that rocked Anthony Lessard. It wakes him up here in round 1. Didn't really hurt him, but Lessard tries to come back. And like I say, Ken, that reach advantage is going to be very, very important in this fight if the hitman, Kris Andrews, can be patient.
Well, Lessard should be lightening up and upping his speed instead of trying to take him out with one punch. He should be lightening up his punches, keep the head wiggling, and let him go. But Andrews is just waiting with that 1-2. He's going to touch him. He's using the ring, and as he's moving, just waiting to land the big punch himself.
Big miss there by Andrews. Tried to connect with the right hand. It didn't happen. Lessard hanging in there. Lessard missed with a big right. Then he comes back with a flurry. Kris Andrews asking for more, and I guess that's the main thing, Ken. Like you say, even for Kris Andrews, even though he wants to perform, he has to stick to his game plan.
See, yeah, exactly. He's very happy, Andrews, is what Lessard's doing to this point. Lessard's putting TNT in every punch, and that's exactly what Anthony wants to see. Or I should say Andrews wants to see. What Anthony has to do is start feinting, going to the body with each hand, shortening up his punches and upping his speed. He's not going to catch Andrews with them haymakers. Andrews is waiting for those.
And another big right that just misses by Anthony Lessard. Just seconds to go here in round number 1. It's been pretty active, but Kris Andrews probably getting a little bit better of Anthony Lessard with his reach advantage.
Exactly. The first round, Andrews did exactly what he was supposed to do. Use the animosity to your advantage. Don't use the animosity and try and slug with every punch. Try and set up Andrews, and I'm sure the veteran Tony Padilla in Lessard's corner told him exactly that. Chill out, relax, set the punches up.
Round number 2 for the vacant Canadian Junior Middleweight Championship. We've got 2 locals going toe-to-toe. Neither one wants to lose. Boy, there's a lot on the line here. It's so tough. They belong to the same local here in Edmonton, same union. So whoever loses, it's going to be tough. You hope that, you know, at the end of the day, both guys can maybe sit there and say, hey, you fought a good fight. That's the end of it.
Exactly what you're seeing from Lessard is what he should have been doing the first round. He's not really loading up now. He's throwing some heavy punches, but watch it. He's not really throwing the big haymakers now.
Getting back to boxing.
Exactly. That's what he's got to do. He can't try for the haymakers. Short punches to get in there.
Good left jab right there by
Lots
Kris
of feints.
Andrews.
He should be feinting more. See, Andrews uses the ring really well. He'll move around. And Anthony's got to chill out like he is right now. Keep moving. Look for the body shot. Don't try and do anything big. Work those big shots in. Don't try and get the big shots like a
well, I guess he's battling 2 things too, Ken, and something that we haven't mentioned is that Kris Andrews is a southpaw. And for Anthony Lessard, who's had a pretty darn good career so far as a professional boxer, you know, facing a southpaw, and especially Kris Andrews, who's really tuned up, you know, it really takes away from, I guess, how you're used to seeing punches come at you when you face a southpaw.
Exactly. Andrews knows how to use his reach. He knows exactly what to do. But I'll tell you, if Anthony fights the right way and starts to feint, and come in with the right type of punches, he's got a way better shot. He's leading in with the jab now. He's coming in with the jab.
Lessard kind of tripped up there, and okay, it looks like Len Koivisto, the referee, is calling it somewhat of a knockdown, even though he didn't go down. He gives him a 10 count.
Oh,
That's kind of strange.
That was kind of strange.
Big right hand right there by Andrews. He caught Lessard creeping in, and he just caught Lessard tightly. Not really good on the chin, but it definitely got his attention.
See, Andrews has to tighten up his defense, keep the pressure on him, and when he gets close, chip away with the little shots, making them into one or two big ones. Exactly that. Hands up, though, he's got to be. And as far as Andrews is doing, everything's working for him right now. Everything's working for him. Them short 1-2s are coming on, are hitting Anthony Lessard right in the chin.
Seconds to go here in the round. Kris the Hitman Andrews doing a very good job here in this round to make sure that Anthony Lessard doesn't take any point away from him.
Yeah, so far Andrews has had everything going for him. Lessard, although I'm sure in his corner now they're going to start saying, hey buddy, that was a lot better for you that round, as you weren't jumping in and trying to throw those big haymakers. You've got to start to set him up.
Let's take a look at the knockdown. There you go. You see.
Well, it was a push. It was
yeah,
no. I can't believe that the referee would call that a knockdown because he was right there. Look, it's just a push. I mean, anybody can see that, and the referee's right there. But you know, I guess sometimes they're standing behind the fighter and making mistakes.
He's seen the punch to the head. That's what he saw, and he probably figured that's what caused it. But I think it was more loss of balance.
Exactly. If you don't see it, I don't think the referee's seen it, but he called it anyways. And that's a mistake on his part. But hey, I don't think it's going to make a difference in this fight. This fight is going to be hotly contested throughout. All Lessard has to do is slow down, chill out, and start to feint and work your punches in there. Don't try and land the big one with every punch.
Round number 3 between Kris Andrews and Anthony Lessard for the vacant Canadian Junior Middleweight Championship. Glad you could join us. I'm James Monsees, along with former 2-time Canadian heavyweight champ Ken Lakusta. These two locals going at each other. First time in Canadian boxing history that two locals have fought for a Canadian title. And Kris Andrews is a man who has really risen to the top of his game in the last 3 or 4 fights, and he wants to win this title tonight. This is actually his 3rd crack, Kenny, at a Canadian title. So if he loses this one, you know, he's really got to take a good look at his career and see where, you know, where he sits.
Exactly. Andrews has to be careful because then punches are coming a little closer to him. Andrews has to get back to boxing like he was in the first 2 rounds. Forget about the slugging with him, because on the slugging end of it, he's going to come up short. So he's going to have to start boxing again, moving on his toes and boxing this guy, because Anthony Lessard, trust me, can punch with either hand.
And Lessard working down low, hitting the body of Andrews, trying to make an impact on that lower body of Kris Andrews. And there you see, there's the work right there. He's trying to hit the kidneys. He's trying to hit right in the 6-pack area of Kris Andrews. Obviously, being the shorter guy too, Ken, he knows it. That's a strategy that I'm sure he's trying to stick with.
If I'm in Anthony's corner now, you know what I'm telling him. Feint, and throw 3, 4 punches together. Don't look for that big punch. Feint him, throw the 3, 4, 5 punches together. Go to the body. Slow this guy down, because one thing about Andrews, he can box all night long. He'll move and box. He's in good shape. Anthony's trying to put some pressure now to slow him down. He wants to slow down Andrews, because Andrews is showing him something that I don't think you've seen before. A lot of good accuracy and good speed. So right now, Lessard's trying to slow him down.
Good 2-punch combination right there by Andrews. And it seems as soon as he gets a little space on Anthony Lessard, he's able to connect on, like you say, that pop, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 3 combination.
Quick 1-2s, and Lessard's got to start to try and chop the tree down. Don't go for the top of the tree. Go downstairs, Anthony. He's got to start going downstairs instead of going upstairs all the time. I think that's about the 2nd or 3rd time that Andrews has hit him, low blowed him. Of course, the referee
warning. Yeah, that's a
he took away a point. And rightfully so. He should have took away a point. That's been about the 3rd time he's been hit low.
Lessard comes back. He wasn't obviously terribly hurt by the low blow. Right back at it. So obvious. One thing is for certain, Kris Andrews has got to watch those body punches and make sure that he doesn't go down too low. Tough thing with those long arms.
Well, the hitman's doing the right thing right now. He's putting punches together, and even though he's missing, he's getting back to boxing.
Good combinations by Kris Andrews to end round number 3 as he gets some instructions from his corner. Let's take a look at some of the flurries from the start of round number 3. Some action there between two boxers. A good left hook by Anthony Lessard. And Kris Andrews got hit by it, and he just hangs on. And that's what you're taught to do, basically. If you get hit by something and then you need to reset, let's do that.
There's the low blow right there. And again, the referee right away took away the point, and rightly so. The referee was in perfect position to see that was a blatant foul.
Round number 4 for the vacant Canadian Junior Middleweight Championship.
See, right now, Anthony Lessard's thoughts are just to keep the pressure on him and to stay on him.
Independent Judo scorecard right now has Kris Andrews ahead of Anthony Lessard. That 3rd round.
There's a big left hook by. Whoa! Such a big left hook. He missed him with another haymaker. See, this is the kind of stuff he can't do. He can't be throwing them big punches like that.
Scorecard should have read 10-9, 10-9, 10-9. So Ken Lakusta has all 3 rounds so far for Kris Andrews. But because of the docking of the point, it becomes a 9-9 round.
Really, I guess there was another point taken away there, and I thought it was just a slip. But There's another point taken away. The referee again took a point away.
Good left hook right there by Andrews, catching Lessard on the chin. Comes back with a right, just kind of grazes the chin.
Andrews is just staying on the outside and doing a workmanlike job, as I can see it right now. He's chipping away, but there's a big right hand by Lessard.
Anthony Lessard has really made a name for himself in this division by being a really good, solid puncher, and that's why he's got that nickname, Hits Hard. So he waits for the opportunity, but Kris Andrews is not allowing Anthony Lessard to get in there for that big punch, Ken. Every time he gets close, he starts peppering away with either jabs or he catches him with, you know, a left hand.
Well, he's got a few more fights. He's got experience. Like you said at the onset of the fight, Andrews has a lot of experience, a lot more experience, and there he caught a big left hook again, but he moves well, and sometimes he's moving away from these punches, which is real beneficial to him.
Well, like you say, he got hit by the left, but he came back with a right to the head of Lessard. So I think, you know what, like we've seen Kris Andrews, and even here on Rogers Sportsnet, we've seen him when he fought for that featherweight title with the fighter out of the Barbados, and that kid out of the Barbados could really fight. And there's a big right hand, and that's what Lessard's looking for. He's looking for that knockout punch, that Mike Tyson punch.
He's looking for the one shot that's going to end it all, but if you want to end it all with one shot, you've got to double jab, move your feet in, and end it up with a nice combination. One shots don't work on guys that know what they're doing. They can move like Andrews can.
Well, the kid out of Barbados, when Kris Andrews fought him, that guy could fight, and he had a lot of talent. And like you say, having more experience and being in these positions really helps. A big left hook right there by Kris Andrews, and it spewed blood out of the mouth of Anthony Lessard. He felt that one right on the chin.
So far, Andrews is getting everything his way. What, 3 big uppercuts in a row for Kris Andrews towards the end of the round. Everything is going so far Andrews' way, although we know we got with Lessard the knockout ability at any point, any time in this fight.
Let's take a look at some of the action here, and there's that big right hand that Anthony Lessard was looking to just crush Kris Andrews with, but he missed, and you could even see he's laughing as he gets back up.
And I think the referee counted that as a knockdown. Here's them uppercuts towards the end of the round. One clean one, 2 clean ones, 3 clean ones. I mean, he's been doing real well defensively so far, Anthony has. When you get punches like that, just keep your hands up.
Let's go.
But both of these guys are well conditioned. This fight is far from over.
We've got 4 rounds in the books. This is round number 5. Glad you could join us for the main event of the evening, the vacant Canadian Junior Middleweight Championship on the line.
See, if Lessard wants to do something now, he's got to double up his jab, move his legs in, right hand, left hook. He's got to double it up and get closer to Andrews, because he's not going to do nothing on the outside. Andrews, we know he can fight on the outside. He's got to double up his jab and right hand, left hook all night long.
Good right hand, another big right hand by Andrews, and he tries for another one. Lessard gets hit by a left. Oh, there's that big punch that Lessard was looking for, and he got it. That wobbled Kris Andrews.
And that's the punch we've been talking about, the big right hand. I mean, we all know that Lessard can punch. We all know he can. And when he hits you with a shot like that.
Another big right hand by Lessard, and Kris Andrews is wobbled. He's hanging on. He said he wasn't hurt by it, but he has to recover, Ken. And obviously slugging it out with Lessard is something that he doesn't want to do right now. It could end his bid for a Canadian title.
Well, exactly. That's one thing Lessard's got going for himself. He's a big puncher, and trust me, he's in good shape. And he can bang. And he throws it with everything on it. Every time he hits you, he tries to take you out. But you know what? I just wish that he would cool down and go back now to boxing, get behind a jab. Don't look for that haymaker. And Andrews has to start boxing again.
Kris Andrews has got to dig deep right now and finish the round and do it in style and show that he is worthy of a Canadian Championship belt, because I'll tell you what, he was rocked a couple of times by Anthony Lessard, and there's Andrews with a good left hook. And that caught the attention of Lessard. Another uppercut. Oh, Lessard just misses.
and they're really starting to exchange some good shots now. I think that punch got Anthony back into the fight a little bit, because now he's starting to get some good, Lessard's starting to get some good shots in there on him. There's another left hook. The punches are getting closer now.
Andrews is willing to stand in there. He must feel that Lessard cannot knock him out. You would think with, you know, the boxing potential that Kris Andrews has, it, he would box around, give himself some chance to recover, but he's pounding away at Anthony Lessard, hitting him with some pretty big shots here. Anthony Lessard looking a little tired here in the 5th round.
This round is really, Andrews is
big
really
left hook right there, Kenny.
Andrews is really getting his respect back in a hurry here. He's throwing some big shots back, and he's getting back into this round.
Andrews finishing with a flurry with seconds to go. What a round for the Canadian Junior Middleweight Championship. Oh my, what a comeback for Kris Andrews after getting rocked with an absolutely huge shot from Anthony. Hits hard Lessard from the overview camera. Wow, what a big right-handed. Thank goodness for Kris Andrews fans, he was able to block that second shot, because Lessard was coming back with another wicked blast. As you watch right here, Andrews is able to stop most of that blow. And at the end of the day, referee Len Koivisto steps in, and Kris Andrews has to say to himself, boy, I got to count myself lucky for that one.
What an electrifying right hand that was. The mouthpiece, everything flew. It looked in slow motion when it happened. That really got Anthony back into this fight. I gave Lessard that round. Now Lessard's got to peck away at what he just did last round. See if he can repeat it this round. 2 rounds in a row, and he's right on track.
Round number 6 for the vacant Canadian Junior Middleweight Championship from the Shaw Conference Center in Edmonton, Alberta. Kris Andrews taking on Anthony Lessard. Andrews with a right hand to start off the round to show Lessard that he wasn't too terribly hurt from that big right hand in round number 5. And what an exciting round that was.
See, the one thing that Andrews has to do is go back to boxing. What do you want to slug with this guy for? Because if you want to slug with him, you might catch another one of those shots he just hit you with. Anthony Lessard has to start shortening up his punches and look for that big one after a couple of jabs, instead of trying to gamble with it from center field, like throwing that big haymaker. It's not going to work again. It worked once. Now he's got to plan it a bit. Double jab, right hand to the belly, double jab, left hook.
Nice combination by Andrews, using his reach advantage.
See, right now Andrews is fighting a smart fight. He's just chilling out. He's on the outside. He's not pushing about. And he's keeping Anthony on the outside. Anthony's not trying no haymakers, nothing. He's got to get the jab out. Andrews doesn't, just keep pecking away at him.
Great left uppercut right there by Andrews, and that kind of stunned Lessard.
Lessard's got to start faking and throwing the shots, letting them go. He can't be waiting on the outside.
Oh, nice combination again. It just shows you how hard they're punching when the beads of sweat go flying off the head of Lessard. Lessard wants to get in tight, Ken. You know why he wants to get in tight. He wants to throw that big blow.
Exactly, but you know what? Throwing that big blow, get a couple jabs in there, go to the body, then throw a big blow. What he's doing right now is he's not going to score it that way. He's got to set it up. And right now he's getting, Andrews is going back in his game where he's boxing, and he's also putting a little pressure because he's seeing he's hitting this guy. Once you start hitting the guy, you start to get confident, and that's exactly where Andrews is right now. The confidence is beaming.
Oh, a good right. I'll tell you what, Kris Andrews is starting to land some punches here, Ken, and I'll tell you what, experience in the later rounds is going to be key here. This is a 10-rounder, but Kris Andrews has been there before, and he's been rocked by a couple of huge shots by Anthony Lessard, but he is showing us here tonight that he is fully prepared to take those shots and then come back. And there you go, Lessard goes down on a knee. He had no choice. I think he's starting to feel that physically he needs to step it up a notch because, you know what, you got to be in shape to go 10 to punch as hard as he does.
Yeah, because now Andrews, after that one knockdown by Andrews, or there by Lessard. Andrews start boxing again.
Good combinations. Oh, some big punches to end the 6th round. Here at the Shaw Conference Center, we've got a dandy for you for the Canadian Junior Middleweight Championship.
That was even unbelievable that Lessard could come back with that beautiful combination at the end of the round. You got to tip your hat to him. Maybe, just maybe, Lessard's got some tricks in his bag yet, but Andrews has taken over that last round after the knockdown in the 5th.
Let's take a look at some of the action from that very exciting round number 6, and Kris Andrews doing what he should can, and that's making sure he's using his reach advantage to the specific idea that he has to have, and that is, I don't want to get in tight with this guy or I'm going to get crushed.
Exactly. Andrews was fighting it towards the end of the round. Exactly what he should. He knocked him down there, but watch if it does show it at the end. Lessard comes back on, and boy, does he ever come on in a hard way. Maybe that's going to give him a bit of confidence. Lessard's got to chip away. Don't look for the big punch, and Andrews has to do what he did ever since he got dumped on his butt. He got up and he really started boxing and being a little more careful.
Here's a look at the independent jeweler scorecard, and Kenny, it's been a battle royale so far, and Anthony Lessard is going to have to work hard to win this title.
Exactly. He's going to, the hitman right now is really moving well. He's full of confidence. He's come back from the knockdown, and now Lessard's got to set the tone again. He's got to do something to get this guy, the hitman's attention, and it's got to happen early, right away. And right now it's a little feeling. I think they tired themselves out from the last round pretty good. So I think they're feeling themselves out a little bit. But Lessard's always got that dynamite punch coming from nowhere.
Kris Andrews makes sure he holds on to make, basically the bottom line is he doesn't want to get caught with anything in tight, so he holds on as well. And both these guys start going at each other again.
Exactly. This has been a real good fight, just like we thought it would be. It's a grudge match. Both guys got a lot of pride. Both guys want to win the championship bad, and both guys start out slow in their careers, and now they've been turning it up.
Good combinations right there by Andrews. Lessard looking to counter, but he's in tight. Both of his hands are tied up.
The only way that Lessard can get back in this fight is he's got to get Andrews his respect again. By doing that, he's got to hit him with a good shot. And he's going to lower it down. There's no way you can headhunt at this point in the fight. You got to start chipping away to the body, to go back up the head, double jab, right hand, left hook, those type of punches.
Nice right by Kris Andrews.
Mixing his punches up. Andrews is mixing his punches up inside, outside. Both hands are going full tilt.
Good body shot there. That got the attention of Lessard. He hasn't felt one of those in a while because it's been nothing but headhunting for the last few rounds. Here goes Kris Andrews, and you can see Anthony Lessard is tired. He's hanging on, and this comes down to conditioning, Ken. We're in the 7th round. We've got a couple of more to go here, and Anthony Lessard has got to really dig deep and be prepared to become a champion.
Exactly. If we've been watching since the knockdown, since Andrews went down, now Andrews is picking up his punches. He's going upstairs, he's going downstairs, left cross, right hooks. Watch his attack to the body. Watch, upstairs, downstairs, everywhere. Andrews is picking his punch, uppercuts. He's doing everything he has to do to try and upset whatever Andrews is doing. And to this point right now, Andrews is fighting the fight he wants. He's mixing his punches up.
Lessard trying to keep it close and in tight.
So far, a highly entertaining fight, just as we expected. He's got to punch back there. He's got to punch back there.
Seconds to go, and a big right hand there by Kris Andrews. Trying to follow it up with another left. And that is going to do it for round number 7. Go round number 8. Glad you could join us coast to coast. I'm James Monsees, along with former 2-time Canadian heavyweight champion Ken Lakusta. This fight is for the vacant Canadian junior middleweight title. First time in over 100 years, two locals have fought for a vacant Canadian, well, put it this way, any Canadian title for that matter. It's never happened before. And we've got two Edmontonians going at it. Kris Andrews battling Anthony Hits Hard Lessard, and there is absolutely no question that Andrews has a bit of an upper hand here, but Lessard has shown us he has the punching power to take out Andrews. What a fight so far.
Exactly. It's been a great fight. Just like we said from the onset, both these guys don't like each other. Exactly two different styles. A big puncher, a boxer. Everything perfect to really have a really good fight, especially with a lot of animosity between the two boys. Beautiful right cross, but it just missed. That's the kind of stuff Anthony's got to do if he wants to close in his fight. He's getting taunted by Andrews. That's something Andrews shouldn't be doing. Andrews should just get back to boxing. Forget about the taunting, because this guy's a big, big puncher. You never want to tease a bear on. The guy's like a grizzly bear. All of a sudden you think you got him, and a punch comes from nowhere. And that's the kind of puncher Anthony Lessard is. And Andrews just seems to be hanging right in with him. This Andrews, you got to tip your hat to him. He can fight inside, outside, moves around, sharp puncher as well. There's that big right hand again.
That big right hand, and you can see how hard that Lessard throws the punches. He throws them so hard he almost loses his balance, and he has fallen a couple of times in this fight because he's throwing those huge punches.
Exactly. He tries, like we said from the start of this fight, he tries to take you out with every punch. If you would only could listen to the telecast, start to feint a bit. Step to the side, double jab, right hand, left hook, put your punches together. Don't just throw the couple of big ones and lay in there. He's got to, and Andrews on the other hand has to not give Lessard so many chances to take him out, because he's giving him some chances. Lessard still has a chance to win this fight if he lands a couple big punches right in the chin.
Don't know if you could hear it on the telecast, but Kris Andrews is complaining to referee Len Koivisto that Lessard's coming in and then pulling him down so that he can get a shot on him. And that's what he's telling the ref, that he's pulling me down, grabbing a hold of me, and trying to, so Lessard kind of trying to bring him down to his own height.
Well, he's trying to lower him down. He's pulling him on the elbows and the side. He's trying to get him down, but hey, that's what any guy in his position would try and do. Andrews is very tall for a junior middleweight.
Lots of punches by Anthony Lessard as we go into the final seconds of round number 8. Both fighters haven't been very busy in this round, but now these are the rounds that mean the most.
Exactly. These are important rounds. I think the boys are starting to get each other's respect now. Before it was just, I'm going to eat you up, I'm going to knock you out. Now they're hitting gloves after each round, so they're getting each other's respect. I think Andrews is just throwing too many punches at this point. He's hitting Anthony with too many punches, and it's really starting to take its toll on Anthony.
Let's take a look at some of the action from round number 8, as Anthony Lessard was a little bit busier than what we've seen in past rounds, Ken, and I think that's basically because that man right there, Kris Andrews, just wasn't as active, and two big punches by Anthony hits hard Lessard, and that got the attention of Kris Andrews. Actually, those two punches right there, which happened fairly early in the round, may have set Kris Andrews back, because that was a huge right hand that he took to the head.
And Andrews come on real strong, so you got to tip your hat to him. You get hit with a couple of big shots early and come on to win the round. I thought he won the round just by throwing too many punches.
Round number 9 for the vacant Canadian Junior Middleweight Championship. Kris Andrews battling Anthony hits hard Lessard.
There it is. Anthony's got to start to double up that jab and right cross. He can't be waiting on the outside, and he can't smother either. He's got to start to score some good punches. If he doesn't score good punches, he's not going to come close to winning this fight.
Andrews has been down here before. He's been down this road before, fighting for the Federative title. You know, he knows that he's got to really pull it up in these final 2 rounds to get the judges' attention, because every round means the most. This has been a hotly contested fight, but Anthony Lessard, after that last round, Kris Andrews knows that he's got to pick it up a notch.
Exactly. Kris is doing what he's supposed to do right now. He's just moving and boxing, and he's waiting for Anthony to come in, and then he's going to pop him as he comes in. Anthony Lessard, like I said, exactly. Double jab, right hand, come back and left. A good balance. He's got to get there before you can start throwing them big punches. And to get there, you have to set it up. Anthony Lessard's defense has been decent tonight. He's kept his hands up, and he's made Andrews miss a lot of punches, because Andrews is throwing a lot. There was a right hand with no precision. There's a nice left hook again. He's got to do more of that. Downstairs, mix it up and down. You can't just be going for the head right now. Start hitting the body dies, then you can knock him out.
For Kris Andrews, should he just stay away from the power of Lessard for the next 2 rounds, just ride it out and go to the cards?
Exactly. He's right now, he's got to fight 1. but he's a very courageous young man, this Kris Andrews. He's still fighting, and he doesn't really even have to fight.
Referee Koivisto breaks them up.
If I was in Andrews' corner now, I'd say just start moving. Andrews, just keep doing what you're doing. Move around, box him, just keep your jab out there. But no, he wants to fight him. But hey, it looks to me like he's doing enough to win anyways. Those short little rabbit punch uppercuts are doing a lot of damage to him.
And they count. Good combination by the hitman. This has been a heck of a fight between two warriors out of the same city, battling for a vacant Canadian boxing championship.
Yeah, this has been a real good fight. I think Lessard's lost a bit of his zap now. He's starting to slow down a little bit. No more of the huge power punches. And he's starting to lay in there. He's starting to take a lot of abuse. Even on the inside where we thought he'd do a lot more damage, he's even starting to lose there. He's got to start to double jab, right hand. He's got to start to do stuff on the outside instead of just the big punch.
That's going to do it for round number 9. We will go to our 10th and final round here at the Shaw Conference Center in just a moment. Anthony Lessard is trying everything in his own persona to sit there, Ken, and draw every bit of energy he can to put up a great 10th round.
He's done really good, but you know what, he's been a little bit too short, that's all. A little too short on the amount of punches, a little too short on trying to throw too many big punches. The only chance he has now, he has to knock out Kris Andrews, or he's not going to win.
You guys decide who wins.
This is the 10th and final round. Let's go to the independent jeweler scorecard, Ken.
Yeah, I've got Andrews comfortably ahead here, and I'm sure Andrews' corner and himself know that. So they're going to move around and try to evade Anthony Lessard's shot at trying to take him out with one punch. Anthony cannot be doing the stuff he's doing. This is why he hasn't landed only that one real big one in the whole fight, because you've got to set those big punches up. But a lot of the times easier said than done, because look at the nice movement of Andrews. He moves well, he's tall, he's hard to get to. It's not the easiest fight in the world.
Andrews has been there before when it comes to title bouts. Anthony Lessard has not been there. Kris Andrews has really shown a lot of poise, and really, Ken, we've seen Kris Andrews fight a lot of times, and he's grown as a professional boxer. And not to take anything away from Anthony Lessard, but Kris Andrews has really stepped up his game.
Yeah, Kris Andrews has really stepped up his game, but you know what? I'm even more proud of Anthony Lessard. He's really done a good job here. I knew he was always the underdog in this fight, because the other boy, he's like Tommy Hearns. He moves, he does everything well. His defense is decent. He got caught with a couple of big ones tonight, but he does everything well. So Anthony, of course, it's the 10th round. He's still there, and he's still dangerous. So I'm proud of him for where he's taking this fight and how good of an action this fight was.
Now he wants to punch. That's why he's yelling. He says, let's go, let's go. Big mistake by Andrews here, maybe, because Lessard wants to fight, but...
Boy, you don't see that too often, where a guy hollers at the other guy, quit running. So now it looks like Andrews has quit running. He wants to fight him now. He wants to fight him now.
So Kris Andrews has decided to do something that really he shouldn't do. He's probably got the fight in the bag.
But there's a lot of animosity here. Both these guys, really, there is a real dislike. They just don't like each other. See now Andrews is moving. He doesn't want to get into a slugfest with Anthony.
Got to be smart. There he catches him with the left. Lessard is the shorter of the two. Fans are really picking it up here at the Shaw Conference Center. They love it. It's been a battle royale between these two junior middleweights. Vacant Canadian title on the line tonight. Kris Andrews looking to win for the first time in 3 tries. Oh, a very nice jab to the face of Anthony Lessard. And I'm sure Lessard's a little frustrated, Kenny, not being able to get in tight.
Well, he can't get close to him right now, but that don't mean he's not going to land a big punch. He's certainly trying. Anthony Lessard has fought a good fight.
Seconds to go.
Just didn't have quite enough.
We will go to the judges' scorecards, and Lessard is basically saying that that's it, game over. Let's see what the judges have to say. Folks, it was a heck of a battle, and kind of interesting that before the fight's even over, Lessard goes to him and says, hey, great fight, buddy.
Well, I think Lessard understood that he didn't win the fight. He sure fought a good fight, though. Anthony fought a real good fight. I'm proud of him. It was a great fight for the city. Both boys from Edmonton, they both fought well. Kris Andrews just too big, too fast, moves too good, and the other boy fought right into him, didn't set it up, and just really give him a chance to look like the white version of Tommy Hearns.
Well, I'm sure Anthony Lessard is a little disappointed that Kris Andrews didn't go more toe-to-toe with him in the final round. But let's take a look. This is something that we haven't seen in a long, long time, Ken. And there's the yell right there from Anthony Lessard.
Quit running, quit running.
Yeah, just saying, let's go. And right there, Kris Andrews changed his pace, and the boys went at it.
Yeah. And Andrews always one guy. Never, you want to challenge Andrews, he'll challenge you. And Andrews usually isn't a cocky guy. But I'll tell you, when they want to challenge Andrews, he'll show up for the challenge. He's a tough kid.
Well, Kris Andrews did a little bit of taunting of his own, and I think deep down, personally, he knows where he sits in this fight. He did a very good job of basically staying away from most of Anthony Lessard's power for most of the fight. He did get hit hard earlier on, but at the end of the day, Kris Andrews fought what I would think, Ken, you'd have to say, a pretty technical and sound fight.
Exactly. His defense was good. His speed was good. His conditioning was good. He did everything properly. He did everything right. And Anthony, you know, I tip my hat to him. He fought a tough fight too, but just tried to put too much on every punch. Every punch was trying to be the take him out, and you can't do that with a guy like Andrews. He moves well.
So we're just waiting for everybody to add everything up, and at the end of the day, the two boxers come together, even though there's a lot of animosity. Kris Andrews goes over and basically gives Anthony Lessard a hug. I think it's a little easier after the fight because you know what you've done personally. You know how hard you've worked in the training, and that was one thing that Kris Andrews said. You know what? I've done all this hard work, and it's time to fight. I'm ready to go. I want to get in the ring, and I think fighting for that WBC Canadian Feather Carib title, Kenny, really helped the confidence of Kris Andrews. If you take the confidence of a Kris Andrews now as compared to when he first started his career and he was losing fights on cards like this, where he was on the undercard, but he was losing fights and he just didn't have what it took. And at the end of the day, you're seeing a different Kris Andrews than what we've seen before. Let's go for the final results, and Dean Panis, he's got them.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time I'd like to welcome Mr. Jerry Gilroy to the ring from Independent Jewelers, our co-sponsor for the main event of the evening, and also Mr. Ed Pearson to the ring, representing the National Championship Committee. And I know this fight was shown coast to coast on Rogers Sportsnet, but I want everybody in Edmonton to get up and show your thanks for Kris Andrews and Anthony Lessard for entertaining you right here tonight in Edmonton. After 10 rounds of incredible non-stop championship action, we go to the scorecards. Judge Craig Metcalfe scores it 97-89. Judge Ron Hayter scores it 97-88. And Judge David Bilocerkowec scores it 97-89 for your winner by unanimous decision. And the new Canadian champion, Kris the Hitman Andrews.
Okay, here we are. Kris Andrews won the WBC Canadian Feather Carib title right here in this building, fighting an impressive fight with a young man out of the Barbados. Tonight you take on a local competitor who both of you guys openly admitted in public you didn't like each other. At the end of the day, Kris, your synopsis of the entire fight, how did you feel about Anthony Lessard and your performance?
First thing, I want to thank the fans of Edmonton. Right on. Thank you for supporting me and Anthony in this fight card tonight. And I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for saving my soul for what he did on the cross. And I'd like to thank my union, Local 92. Where are you, boys? Right on. Thank you. They helped me financially. And I thank Mo from Shadowfied for the funky hair. Right on. And all props to Anthony. He's a warrior. I did not expect him to stay there for 10 rounds. He got me. He clobbered me a few times, as you can see. And we're just warriors. That's what happens when you work out at the plants. You become tough.
One thing I wanted to ask you is that earlier in your career, if you were to take a big right hand like that, I don't know if the Kris Andrews earlier on would have been able to sustain that and come back. You've really changed as a boxer, you've changed as a person, and you were able to take that big shot from Anthony Lessard and come back and win this fight.
Well, as you know, I was a mediocre pro to start out. I was partying, I was into drugs, I was into the nightlife, I was out in the bars all the time. I didn't take pro serious. But in 2005, I turned to God, and ever since then, I've been the man I am today, and he changed me around.
This was your third crack at a Canadian title. I know everything was on the line for you. For Anthony Lessard, he was fighting for a title for the first time for him, but for you, this was a third crack. This was a make it or break it opportunity for you.
Well, I trained. I was training 4 times a day for this. I had 3 weeks off work. I was training a month and a half prior, and I knew this was my last shot. I was probably going to hang up the gloves, but I knew I was going to win. I was confident in what I had, and I knew ever since when I had a brief retirement after Sutherland, it just wasn't my time to move to the next level. Now I'm game, and I'm ready to step up against international competition and make Edmonton proud.
I want to bring in Anthony Lessard really quick here. Bring in him. Anthony, come in here with us. Anthony, I know you took on Kris Andrews tonight. You guys, as I said before, in the media, made it very public. You didn't like each other. I know probably feelings may be a little different after tonight, but did you feel that Kris Andrews showed you the championship quality that allowed him to take that belt tonight?
Well, absolutely. Kris and I are from the generation of kids that were born in 79 and 80. Him and I have grown up together since we were 10 years old through the amateur ranks professional. Him and I sat down 2 years ago over a drink of beer and we talked about this. You know what I mean? If we were going to fight each other, it was going to be main event here at the Shaw Conference Center in front of everybody, and we were going to fight for the title and let the best man win. You know what? I love Kris like a brother. He knows that. The stuff that was going on earlier, that's just boxing. We're just trying to hype the fight up. We love each other. We come in here in front of the Edmonton crowd, put on an awesome fight, and that's all we could ask for.
Thank you very much. Kris Andrews, the new Canadian champion. And there you see Anthony Lessard, 2 locals fighting for the first time for a Canadian title bout. Armed and Dangerous has been a presentation of KO Boxing in association with Independent Jewelers. Congratulations to all of tonight's winners. On behalf of my colorman, former 2-time Canadian heavyweight champion Ken LaCusta, and our great crew, I'm James Monsees, asking you to support your local boxing gym. Thanks for watching, and good night from the Shaw Conference Center in Edmonton, Alberta.